Hello everyone, semi-retired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet and all things related to the carnivore diet. I hope you all are having a great day. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. If you're returning, I'm glad you're here as well. I kind of forgot what I was going to say there, but yeah. Today we're going to talk about a few different little topics. Primarily, today's video is just about getting out and walking because it's been really cold. You can see I got my blue jacket on, so it's still a little cold out here. It's above 45, but it's not quite 50 yet. But I would ask one quick favor. Go ahead and hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. It tells the YouTube formula that people are actually interacting with the video, and it shares it out to a wider audience. And that's the best thing we can do to get this message out to everybody, is to like. It's the easiest. It takes you half a second. It doesn't cost you anything. Leaving a comment also helps, but that actually takes, a minute or so to figure out what you want to type and then type that in. So I understand if you don't get that done. But as you can see, the sun is out a little bit. So I have a little problem that's turned into a minor little blessing in disguise. I'm not exactly sure. As you saw in yesterday's video, we stopped on the way home from the Christmas lights and ate at this barbecue place. I don't remember what it was called, but the ingredients seemed fairly clean. I woke up about 3:30 in the morning with a really, really bad stomach ache. I didn't have to go. It's just like, man, my gut just kind of hurts. So I'm sure there was something in there that didn't agree with me. It's cleared up a little bit, but it still hurts. It's not anything that's going to keep me from walking. And I'm sure there won't be any long-term effects from it. But the blessing in disguise part is tonight is the church's adult Christmas party. Last night was just a senior saints outing. We had our senior saints party last week, and then we had an outing just to go look at Christmas lights last night. And then tonight is the church adult party, which is the last party for the season, except the Spanish ministry is going to have their party on Wednesday or Thursday. I don't remember exactly what, but this is the big one. This is the adults having a Christmas party, and of course there's going to be food and games and fellowship. But because my stomach hurts a little bit still, and it doesn't show any signs of slowing down, I'm not going to have to worry about what kind of food they have at the party. Because right now I don't feel like eating anything. And that's the best thing you can do when you have any kind of illness, whether it be from eating something you shouldn't have, or you caught a cold, or whatever else that problem is, because digestion actually takes some of the attention away from your natural immunity, because your body apparently can only do so many things at a time. I'm not exactly sure how the science works. If someone knows how the science works, feel free to leave that in the comments. We all know Bob doesn't do science real well. But apparently when you're sick, and your body's fighting off whatever that sickness is, eating takes away from some of that, because your body has to spend some of its resources on digesting your food and going through that whole process. So while I hadn't planned on fasting today was the day I might have gotten a little something I shouldn't have, because I've already decided Christmas Day I'm just going to stay here by myself and cook myself that big fat ribeye I showed you in the other day's video. I'm going to cook the biggest ribeye I've got and call that it for Christmas Day. And of course, if the weather's nice enough, I'm going to get out and walk. But yeah, so that's where we're at. I'm not exactly sure why, because it didn't taste sweet or anything. Just some kind of a vinegar-based barbecue sauce. It had a little bit of a kick to it. Maybe whatever kind of peppers were in it. There weren't any big chunks that I could see. It was just basically the meat with little tiny specks of seasoning in the vinegar-based sauce. But I suspect it was whatever kind of pepper they had that gave it a kick. That has my stomach boiling a little bit today. So, rather than eating tonight, I'll just go for the fellowship. I'll take my big camera with me and take a lot of good pictures and post them up to the church. If I get over there early enough, I may get to take some pictures of the decorations, and I can probably share those with you guys. But any pictures of people I take, I like to get their permission. And I know some of you photographers are out there saying, well, you can share whatever you want, Bob, but these aren't pictures that are going to be taken on a public place. Anywhere on church property is private property. Therefore, on private property, there is an expectation of privacy. So you need a signed release form from anybody in the picture to actually release it to your social media. At least that's the way the laws are back in Omaha. I have no idea what they are here in North Carolina, and since I don't take pictures of people very often, I'm not that worried about it, because tonight I'm going to use my camera for the church and document their party for them. So I'll let you know how that goes in tomorrow's video. Here comes a big noisy truck. Oh. Nope, just a really loud pickup truck. Wow. But today, one of the other little topics I want to talk about is one of the questions that came up in my live stream on Friday. Was that really just yesterday? Well, 2 days ago by the time you guys see this, but it's been a busy couple of days. But yeah, I had one of the viewers ask about loose skin. If I have a lot of it, if I think I'll have a lot of it. I don't remember exactly how they phrased it, but it was a question about loose skin. Now, I do have some, a little bit here and there, but it's certainly, because I've seen people that have lost 100 pounds or more that posted their pictures on the internet. I have no idea why they do that, but they do. And I don't have near as much loose skin as a lot of people do. And as I continue to lose weight, I don't see it getting bigger. And I think part of that is because I've done almost this entire journey, the first month and a half or so. I was eating twice a day, but within a 6-hour window. And since I went to one meal a day fairly early in my journey, that 23 to 24 hours of fasting at a time, with the occasional I'm not hungry. Like today I ate, it was about 6:30, 7 o'clock when I ate whatever that was I ate last night. And now I'm planning, because of my stomach ache, I don't think I'll get hungry. If I do get hungry, I'll eat, but I don't think I will. So it'll be Sunday after church before I eat anything. So that'll be almost 48 hours. And anytime you fast, I believe 16 is about the sweet spot for starting autophagy. And what autophagy is, it's basically just your body's recycling system. To keep it in the simplest possible terms, it takes anything that isn't working correctly or not needed in the body, and it breaks it down and creates new cells out of it that your body can use. Or it breaks it down into its base building blocks and adds that to wherever it's needed. And one of the things is that's where a lot of your organ repair can come from. All of your repair, but the reason I want to talk about organ repair here is because skin is actually the largest organ in the human body. Think about it, it covers your whole body. You got skin everywhere. So, I believe, because I've always been one meal a day, well, for most of it, that autophagy has recycled my loose skin before it becomes loose skin. Unlike my brother, who I couldn't talk out of his surgery, he had a gastric bypass thing done. And now he's scheduled for surgery to go back in and get his loose skin removed. And then, because he never learned how to eat properly, probably within 5 years, he'll be right back to where he started. 2 surgeries, and I have no idea how many thousands of dollars later, he'll be right back to where he started. Whereas you and I, have discovered the correct way of eating, and we don't have to do any kind of starvation to get there. We just eat the food till we're full, and then we go on about our day. But yeah, autophagy does a really good job, in my opinion. And that's why I don't have a lot of loose skin. maybe the next 50 pounds, 40 pounds won't go quite so well, and I'll end up with some loose skin, but I'm not going to have surgery to get rid of that. Because Dr. Barry has mentioned in several of his videos about loose skin and autophagy that it does take time, but your skin will tighten up. Tighten up isn't exactly what happens. Autophagy takes the loose spots and gets rid of them, basically making your organs smaller, and then uses those pieces for something else. But what Dr. Barry suggests, and now what I'm going to suggest to you, if you've lost a bunch of weight and are considering surgery to have it removed, wait 6 months. Strip down and take a picture of yourself. And then set it aside. And 6 months from now, of course, continuing to eat the way we eat for 6 more months, then strip down and take another picture and see if you notice any difference. If you're one of those outlier cases where you can't see any noticeable difference in your loose skin, then maybe you can go ahead and consider having that surgery. But I think most people, and I did say most people there, are going to find that while they don't see it every day, just like in the live stream, I think it was in the live stream, I was talking about this little flap of skin underneath my chin that I'd like to get rid of. But then I went back and found where I first complained about it about 2 months ago and looked at it. And it's amazing how much smaller it is now than it was before. So I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And if you see the amount of progress you've made in 6 months, then from there, you'll be able to calculate roughly how long it's going to take to get rid of, if you have any of those great big folds of loose skin, how long it might take to get rid of those. And you still might consider surgery at that point, but I'm not a big fan of cosmetic surgery. I mean, it took us decades to get fat enough to grow that skin that big. So it takes a few years to get it to shrink back down. That's no big deal. And anytime you have some kind of a surgery, there is a risk involved. Even, basic surgeries like excess skin removal. Anytime they administer anesthesia, whether it's local or general, local is they just numb the area like your dentist does before he tortures you, or general where they put the mask on you and put you to sleep, or put a needle in your arm and put you to sleep. Any of those. Anytime you go under anesthesia, there is the possibility of you having a bad reaction to it. Now, it is very slim, but there are those few outliers. I do not have any stats with me, but on general routine things, I'd have to say it's somewhere in the 0.5% to 1% that just never come out of anesthesia. That's not a very good outcome. Now, if you were having something like open heart surgery, that's probably an okay risk to take. But if you're getting something purely for vanity reasons, that doesn't really seem like such a good idea to me. And I understand if you're a younger viewer, your vanity's a little more important to you, how you look, what others think about you. Once you get to my age and beyond, and somewhere, I don't remember exactly when it happened, actually sometime about 10 years ago when I turned 50. It might have even been before that. But I gave up caring what other people thought about me. That's why I cut my own hair. I buy my clothes at Walmart, Amazon, and the second-hand stores. Like, this coat needs to be replaced. It's got a little tear in the arm. It's way too big for me now. But it still keeps me warm. And I have a hard time letting go of things that were a good deal. Because this is, as you can see from the insignia there, I bought this at Cabela's. Oh gosh. Could have even been as much as 20 years ago. You can look it up whenever the Cabela's in Omaha opened. They had their first, a big sale to introduce the store to Omaha. So me and a couple of friends went over, and I hadn't really planned on buying a jacket that day, but this is a good heavy jacket with liner and inside pockets and outside pockets. Most of the zippers are broken now. The one inside here still works, and the one on my right hand side, the outside pocket, still works. But the rest of the zippers don't work anymore. They've long since busted. But I only paid $15 for this coat all those years ago. And it still keeps me warm. So I have hard. Oh, and the big main zipper that zips it up, that still works. So even though it's a little on the big side, I can't see replacing it. There's somebody else coming out. There's Miss Jessica. They must be getting ready for the party tonight. She just nodded and raised her hand in the air. Yeah, the only ones left here, we got Miss Amanda, Miss Jessica, and that's, I can never remember her name, but Brother Brandon, the outreach ministry guy. That's his wife's car. There's just the three of them here right now. But yeah, so that's my little rant on loose skin and surgeries. And vanity. I don't think, like I said, if it's a life-threatening situation, like you need heart surgery, by all means, go ahead and get that. If it's a vanity issue, I'd think really long and hard about that. So, of course, you'll see this on Sunday, but today is Saturday, 1 week away from Christmas. I hope everybody is at least close to being done, because I now have the food I need in my freezer and fridge get me through the Christmas holiday and a couple of days beyond. Because this week leading into Christmas, I want no part of going anywhere near a store. You people that are still out there shopping, enduring the crowds, you people are nuts. If I discover I've forgotten to get somebody something, that I really needed to give them something, I just make them up a little card and say, sorry, I know what you're getting, but I'm not going anywhere near a store this week. I'll get it to you sometime the week between Christmas and New Year's. Because I'm just not going anywhere near stores. And for the two of you that have sent me Christmas cards already, thank you. I didn't have any Christmas cards to return, but I do have your names and addresses in my address book now. So you can expect to start seeing Christmas cards from me next year. Because I tend to send those out a little earlier than most people do. I usually have them done by Thanksgiving and then mail them out usually the Monday after Thanksgiving. I don't send out many, but I do still send a few. Every year I'm shocked at how much stamps are these days. And they wonder why the post office is struggling along with everybody else. I know I'm slipping deeper and deeper into old man mode here as I start complaining about how much stuff costs. But they've got a truck going from point A to point B, and I know they have to put fuel in it, and I know they have to pay the driver, they have to pay everybody, but even with the extreme inflation that we've had over the last couple of years, it can't possibly cost that much more to put another envelope on a truck that's already going that way anyway. Sorry, that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm gotten off on a side note there I hadn't intended on getting off on. But it feels really good, even though I still feel my stomach kind of grumbling at me. It feels really good to get out here and walk some laps around the parking lot. And I will have some more thoughts for you at the end. But for now, let's cue the music. Okay, cut the music. As you saw, I had a couple of people asking about the bob cam. So I'm going to insert just before this section a lap or two on the bob cam. Just so you can see what I'm seeing out here when I walk around. But just remember to think about it, folks. Like I said, life-saving surgeries, definitely worth the risk. Vanity surgeries, not so much. Don't forget to get out there, be 1% better today, folks. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow. See, you knew there was going to be one more little section. I decided to do the closing on the bob cam tonight because you guys don't get to see a whole lot of this. But there's that empty church across the street. Turn my head quickly so we don't get any license plates in there. Oh, I got to cover the cam. Miss Jessica's walking by. But I've got my water jug with me that I get water in here from. And this is a daily ritual because I forget exactly how much this is. 3 quarts. Yeah, 3 quarts. So I come in here pretty much every day and fill this up and then carry it back out to the trailer. This is what I use to fill my water filter with. And for those that wonder how much water I drink in the day, I do this every day. So I'm drinking about 3 quarts of water a day. Maybe a hair less some days, a hair more others, but that's about what I'm doing. I probably could get the bigger one back out of my truck and use that. I have one that holds 2.5 gallons, but when I first got here, that was, oh, here, let me take a quick, let's see, this is the Spring Creek Youth Center, the Teen Center. There you go. But, oh yeah, I was saying the 2.5 gallon one. It's a little bit, it was a little bit too heavy for me when I first got here. But now I don't even notice the weight of this one, so I could probably get the bigger one back out and make less trips. But it's one more way to get stuff done. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that last little bit of add on to the video. Have a great day, everyone. I will see you tomorrow.